Hey there, it's Heike, and welcome to the Pursue Your Spark podcast. This month is National Osteoporosis Awareness Month. And what better way to talk about bone health than especially during this month? Now, you may have just been diagnosed with osteoporosis and you're in full-on panic mode. You're thinking, okay, I think I did everything to prevent osteoporosis and bone loss. But this episode isn't about dwelling in the worry that is occurring. It's your action guide. We're shifting from the shock of a diagnosis to the power of prevention. Starting now, it's all about aiming yourself with the right nutrition, the best exercises, and the smartest lifestyle choices, because osteoporosis is serious, but what is your response to it that matters? That's where your real power lies, to tackle this issue together with me, and we're making sense of what it all means, what you can do, and how you can develop your own action plan to fighting bone loss or osteoporosis. So let's dive into redefining bone health in midlife. Ready to get unstuck and recharge your midlife? It's Heike Yates here with the Pursue Your Spark podcast, your spot for a straightforward talk on fitness, nutrition, and a can-do mindset. With over a decade of experience, I specialize in empowering women in midlife to break through limiting beliefs and thrive. We'll dive into everything important for women in midlife, from conquering menopause to fine-tuning your metabolism and letting go of old beliefs that no longer serve you. So are you ready to say, yes, I can? Tune in and discover actionable steps that make midlife feel better than ever. This is the Pursue Your Spark podcast. Hey, it's Heike, and I wanted to jump in really quickly to tell you about the Spark Breakthrough Calls. If you're ready to cut through the confusion and challenges in your health, fitness, and nutrition journey, and if you are fed up with those cookie cutter fixes that never seem to get your result, and you're looking for clear, tailored guidance on your wellness journey, then the 20-minute Spark Breakthrough Call is for you. This 20-minute call is designed specifically for women in midlife that are serious about reclaiming their energy, vitality, confidence, and thrive. Together, we'll bring your health and wellness goals into sharp focus. It's about turning your dreams into plans. We'll shine a light on the obstacles that have been slowing you down. Knowing is half the battle, right? I'll give you one solid action step that you can take immediately after our call. It's all about small moves that make big waves. So, are you ready to make a real shift in your wellness journey? Then let's discover how you can overcome your challenges and take a decisive step forward. The link to book the call will be in the show notes. So, don't wait any longer for the results that you want. Book your call now. Let's start out with the compelling statistics from the National Osteoporosis Foundation that states that 1 in 2 women over the age of 50 will break a bone due to osteoporosis. Many people with osteoporosis, not only women in midlife, do not know that they do have osteoporosis until they break a bone. Screening is essential to identify those people before this happens so they can take steps to decrease the effects of osteoporosis. And there are some compelling steps that you can take today if you have been diagnosed with osteoporosis. In the United States, the general recommendation is that women start osteoporosis screening at age 65. That's a little late if you ask me, because when we're thinking we're going through menopause, which is also an indicator that we might experience bone loss, I think 65 is a little late, but may as it be. However, for those that have increased risk of osteoporosis due to factors like early menopause, a family history of disease, certain medical conditions, or the use of medications that can weaken your bones, screening may start earlier. So have this conversation with your doctor. Make sure you're listing all these medications you're taking. And do point out that you're taking those with the question in the back of your mind, is this osteoporosis? And one of the things that you may not know about me is that I do not have a thyroid. About 10, I don't even know exactly how long, but at least 10 years ago, my thyroid was removed. I had a ton of nodules in my throat, and I have a goiter. And a goiter is like enlarged throat, looks like a sausage around your neck, really. And I was chalked it up to being born in Bavaria, in the Alps, where this condition is very common or has been in the past. And so once I started investigating why I have this, and it looked very ugly, at least to me, everybody said it's not a big deal. But I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, hey, let's check out those nodules. So I went in for a procedure to get biopsied. Let me tell you, I will never do this again. It is horrible. It's painful. And he said, well, in order to make sure you do not have thyroid cancer, we'll have to do these biopsies on a regular. And I said, out with the thyroid. Give me medications. And initially, it seemed really simple to take those medications. And he said, oh, yeah, we have the right medication, and it will regulate your thyroid. And if you don't know that, your thyroid regulates everything in your entire body, from your menstrual cycles, your ovaries, to your brain function. And when I started out with my thyroid medication, they over-medicated me, they under-medicated me. It was a whole back and forth. But the story is that now I have a great doctor who tells me that when my thyroid levels are off, it will compromise my bone density. And he's very aware of that. So every 6 months I go in, and I may have to have my doses adjusted depending on where my levels are. He says, we cannot have you lose bone density because of your imbalance in your thyroid. So this was a eye-opener for me. So keep in mind that how important it is that you know what's going on with your body, and that you have an open conversation with your doctor. If you have not been diagnosed with osteoporosis, this episode is a must listen for you. You need to know, you need to be educated so you can take steps towards your health. So what is osteoporosis? Osteoporosis occurs when the bones become less dense and more likely to fracture. Fractures are not uncommon as we age, but bone loss can also result in loss of height, severe back pain, and the changes in posture. And several people that you may know have a hunchback because their bones are so brittle and so not strong that they cannot lift up their spine. So we have height, we have change in posture. It can affect how we walk and can result in permanent disability because of it. And osteoporosis is known as the silent killer. It can progress undetected without any symptoms. So you don't even know that you have osteoporosis unless you get a scan or have this conversation with your doctor. There are some risk factors, and we're diving into those risk factors right now. Thin or small frames may just be the way you are. You are predisposed to developing osteoporosis more likely than others. A family history of the disease. So know what your family has, what diseases they have. In my case, I have a hard time figuring out what my mom or my dad have because they never want to talk about. And then when I say I have something, they go, oh yeah, I had this too. So dig deeper, ask them. Then we are being post-menopausal, and particularly having had an early menopause makes you more predisposed to develop osteoporosis. Then using medications that treat lupus, asthma, thyroid deficiencies, just like my story, and then seizures. So these are things that may increase the risk of osteoporosis. Low calcium intake. You may not drink your milk, but that's not enough. I know we're thinking, if I drink a glass of milk, I'll be fine. Not really. Lack of physical activity. Impact exercises create bone density. So when I talk about walking, running, these are all forms that create stronger bones in your body. Swimming, not so much. Smoking. Now, I was really wondering why exactly it is that smoking affects it. And so I looked it up for us. The nicotine in cigarettes slows the production of bone-forming cells called osteoblasts, so they make less bone. I did not know that. Smoking decreases also the absorption of calcium from the diet. So smoking, I think very few people smoke anymore, but it's good to know because you may know somebody who smokes. Then excessive alcohol intake. Alcohol consumption can disrupt the ongoing balance between the erosion and the remodeling of bone tissue. That keeps going. So it's not your bone is your bone for the rest of your life. And that contributes to bone disease because, or let's rephrase that, that's contributing to an alcoholic bone disease. This imbalance partly results from alcohol-induced inhibition of the osteoblasts, which I just mentioned in smoking, specialized cells that deposit new bones. So now the osteoblasts are the cells that help rebuild the bone. And smoking, excessive smoking, no, I should say smoking and excessive alcohol intake will inhibit bone density. So let's keep an eye on that. I always say we need to know the facts. So I want to discuss some myths about osteoporosis and clear up the confusion with straight facts so you understand what's true and what's not can make all the difference in the world of how you protect your bones, especially in midlife and post-menopause. So we're zeroing in on 5 myths to debunk them once and for all, making sure that you have accurate information you need to take charge of your health. And here's number 1. Osteoporosis is a natural part of aging and cannot be avoided. The truth is, while age is a risk factor, lifestyle choices such as diet, exercise, and preventative measures can significantly reduce the impact and the risk of osteoporosis. And number 2, only women get osteoporosis. Osteoporosis can affect anyone, regardless of gender. While it's more common in women, especially post-menopause, men also face significant risks as they age. Number 3, you can't build bone density after menopause. Here's the fact. Even after menopause, activities like strength training, weight-bearing exercises, along with adequate nutrition can help maintain and even improve bone density. Number 4, if you have osteoporosis, you should avoid exercise to prevent fractures. Quite the opposite. Regular, safe exercise is crucial for strengthening bones and muscles, improving balance, and reducing the risk of falls and fractures. It's about choosing the right type of exercise and intensity of these exercises. And we'll dive a little bit more in this later in detail. And number 5 is calcium alone is enough to protect against osteoporosis. False. Calcium is important, but so is vitamin D. Magnesium and other nutrients play critical roles in our bone health because D and magnesium support the absorption of calcium. Just on side note, I would like you to listen to episode 137, Bone Health Over 50, Osteoporosis versus Osteoarthritis. There is a big difference and you need to know. I leave a link in the show notes so you can check it out. Yes, I am talking about the practical aspects of how to prevent osteoporosis and keep your bones healthy. But it's also something that we forget. It's a mindset shift when it comes to osteoporosis. Shifting our mindset about bone health, especially after we've been diagnosed with osteoporosis, is crucial. Yes, hearing osteoporosis can be frightening. It's normal to feel concerned. It is a sign that you care deeply about your health and quality of your life. But here's the thing. While osteoporosis is serious, it's not a signal to give up. It's a call to action. Acknowledge the fear and the concern is the first step to prevention. The next step is realizing that so much is in our hands. This isn't about what's happening to our bones. It's about what we can do to support and strengthen them. Hey, it's Heike. I want to jump in and tell you about a program I'm offering. If you're ready to take control of your life and feel vibrant again, then the Pursue Your Spark Blueprint is for you. It's an 8-week online group coaching program for women in midlife. On this life-changing journey, you'll start a healthy intermittent fasting routine, lose body fat, improve gut health, and boost your energy. And boy, will you feel stronger after the course. With our course, you won't feel like you need to start over each time life gets in the way. Our tailored Pilates and strength training exercises, combined with a built-in accountability system, will make sure that you build lasting and consistent habits. We're not just about physical transformation. We're here to help you build a confident mindset to make guilt-free, smart health choices. Imagine going mountain biking or fitting into last year's clothing without a hitch. That's the energy and vitality the Pursue Your Spark Blueprint brings. Ready to prioritize your health? Click the link in the show notes to apply. It's time to invest in yourself because you are worth it. Strengthen them. Our daily choices of what we eat, how we move, our lifestyle habits have incredible power. They are our tools to fight back, build bones, and maintain our healthy lifestyle and independence. Let's not forget about that. When you fall and fracture a femur or a hip and you're in your, I'm 62, in your 60s, the healing process is way slower. So take action. A positive mindset here doesn't mean ignoring the reality or brushing off the diagnosis and say, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just drinking an extra glass of milk. Instead, it's about facing the situation head on with determination to make changes that count. You know what I always say? Yes, I can. It's about seeing beyond the diagnosis to the opportunities it presents to taking charge of your health. We can manage osteoporosis effectively with the correct information, and I debunked the 5 myths that are most common, and with support and actions. Let's focus on what we can control, and take proactive steps. And remember, our health journey is ours to shape. Ask your doctor about the level of your bone loss or your bone density. Get a DEXA scan so that you can make an educated decision supported by your medical team. Don't take guesswork or listen to a girlfriend who says, oh, I think you may have osteoporosis because you are walking hunched forward. I always say, I'd rather know, and then I can take action towards what's ailing me or what I need to solve. But I need to have somebody, a medical team, that tells me if that is really true. I have been working with a client that's now 78 for at least 10 years, maybe. Let's say 8 years for sure, 8 years for sure. And she used to come to my studio in person because she has osteoporosis and she already has spinal fractures and has a whole bunch of other back issues because of the spinal fractures that she has. Her nerves are impinged, her spine is deteriorating. And she started Pilates with me because she wanted to strengthen her bones. And she has heard that Pilates is really good for somebody who, in her condition with osteoporosis. And as an osteoporosis trained Pilates coach and fitness coach, I was like, this is great. Now, we cannot reverse her level of osteoporosis, but I can make her stronger still, despite the fact that she has fractures and that now we had to pivot during COVID. She was the very first person of my clients who said, "Can I work with you virtually?" And I said, "Absolutely. I know your body. I can see you on the screen." And she says, "Are you sure you can see everything I'm doing?" And I said, "Yes, because I look at your body and that's all I'm doing. I'm not on my phone or doing other things. I'm here with you as if I were there in person." So we've been working now for, let's say, 8 years. In the last 3 years, virtually. And we continue to do that virtually because she can't drive to my studio anymore. And we're working on strengthening her bones, strengthening the muscles supporting the bones. We're working on great posture. We're improving her posture, but we're also improving her breathing, which will help with her posture. And I am so privileged and honored that I have the chance to work with her and help her with quite advanced osteoporosis. And now it's time to take action. As always, I'm an action taker and I want you to take action. We're talking about the 5 essential osteoporosis strategies in midlife and beyond. When we're overloaded with advice around osteoporosis, it's so easy to feel lost and you really don't know what to do. So I'm always trying to make it simple so you can take action and don't question yourself or know your, what I like to call, marching orders. But remember, taking control back begins with simple steps. It could be by choosing water over wine tonight or going for a walk instead of watching TV. Get a little bit more in every day. These small choices add up and they're cutting through the noise and leading you to stronger bones and better health. The best osteoporosis exercises focus on building and maintaining bone density and improving balance and muscle strength to reduce the risk of falls and fractures. That's the biggest problem with it. Number 1 is weight-bearing exercises. Your body works against gravity, so it's impact. And if you watch the video, you see me pounding my hand onto my fist, stimulating bone formation and helping maintain bone density. Exercises like walking, jogging, running, hiking, dancing, climbing stairs, jumping ropes. So you get the idea that the elliptical is not building bone density. Swimming, and I talk about this a little bit later, is not increasing bone density. All these are great for other reasons, and you might change them up. But if you want to increase your bone density, you need impact exercises. Number 2 is resistance training. Strength training exercises help build muscle mass and strengthen the bone because the bones are connected to your muscles and vice versa. Use things like free weights, resistance band, your own body weight, or weight training machines in the gym, which they eliminate the training machines in the gym. If you're sitting down and you're doing a chest press, they eliminate the balance aspect, but you may get this a little bit differently in your training program. But think about things like squats, lunges, push-ups, the all favorite for everybody, and upper and lower body exercises. So all of this, don't just think, oh, if I do squats, I'm good. No, target all muscle groups, especially the back, to promote a strong spine. Pilates has shown to increase bone mineral density in the spine. So the impact of the Pilates reformer or the Pilates mat, just the weight on the floor or the mat increases bone mineral density. Super important to know. Then number 3, of course, is balance exercises. Better balance reduces the risk of falls, which is particularly important to know with osteoporosis. So you could do standing on one leg, do yoga, do Tai Chi, or do standing Pilates exercises, which we also have in our Pilates repertoire. And number 4 is flexibility exercising. Maintaining flexibility helps improve overall mobility, which will be a future podcast around what is mobility, how do we get mobility, and so forth, and reduce the risk of injuries, being more mobile, being more functional. Pilates and other forms of gentle stretching are good examples. Think about Pilates, or I think about Pilates the way that Pilates includes strength training while it stretches you in a dynamic fashion. You're not just laying a leg out, stretching over it. And if you think about, for instance, the leg circles, so you're lying on the reformer and you have your feet in straps and you're circling your legs around. And again, if you watch the video, you see me circling my arms, circle around both directions while you're maintaining a stable core for your bone density. You're stretching muscles, but you're also strengthening. That's really one of the many reasons why I love Pilates. And number 5 is a nutrition overhaul. To support bone density, emphasize a diet rich in calcium, vitamin D, and magnesium. Think things like leafy green, dairy, or fortified alternatives, nuts and seeds. Remember, foods high in omega-3s and lean proteins are a good source for overall health and reducing inflammation. And I have a episode number 5 called Pilates to Crush Osteoporosis. And I'll leave a link in the show notes because this is from my limited Pilates podcast series that only talks about Pilates. And I'll leave a link in there for you to listen to this episode and maybe learn more about Pilates along the way as you listen to this limited podcast series. Now, how much should you do? At least 30 minutes of daily activity is the recommendation. Avoid long times of sitting and spread movements out during the day. And I mentioned it before, swimming, as good as it is for the body, it is not good for our bone density. Now, when it comes to reps and sets with strength training, you want to stay at the higher amount of repetitions, meaning anywhere between 10 and 15, depending on how many sets you are doing. For Pilates, we don't do sets and reps. In Pilates, we focus on 3, 5, 8 repetitions in general, and we're moving on to the next exercise. We're still strengthening the body, but with a different eye on what we're trying to achieve in Pilates. And Pilates is low impact. So this is perfect for the person with bone health issues. If you ask me, all forms of exercise are great. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you take action and you do something. And pick something that is good for your bone health, is good for your lifestyle, and that you love doing. Because if you love doing the things, you adapt and adjust as you get older, the more likely you will do them. And I would not be a good coach if I wouldn't tell you about the 5 benefits of Pilates. So without further ado, here are the 5 benefits of Pilates to strengthen your bones. Number 1 is improved muscular strength. Pilates exercises can help increase muscle strength, in particular in the core, back, and pelvic muscles. So we talked about the pelvis fracturing when we're falling. So the muscles will help us stabilize the entire body and, of course, the spine. This improved strength can create better support for the spine. Think about the muscles along the spine, along the back of the body, and enhance overall stability. So when you're thinking of yourself standing on one leg and you're thinking, oh, I'm wobbling. How can I prevent wobbling? You're thinking, I'm engaging my lower abdominals. I increase my back stability. And I'm extending my spine up towards the sky, and I wear my crown. And I find a focus point along the horizon. This will tremendously improve your balance, but also for using the strength you have built through or with Pilates. Number 2 is better balance and coordination. Pilates exercises often emphasize balance and coordination, which can help reduce, again, the risk of falls, preventing fractures. Now, what would better balance and coordination look like? You could do the 100 if you have osteoporosis with your head down. Again, you are coordinating and you are focusing on the coordinative move of your body. You can do leg circles on the reformer, which is them coordinating, again, the legs so they're even circles. And again, keeping the body balanced in the exercise. And number 3 is enhanced or improved posture. Pilates can improve posture by strengthening the muscles that maintain proper spinal alignment. And there's a whole bunch of muscles there. And I don't want to get into this today in this episode, but good posture can help minimize stress on the spine and reduce the risk of vertebral fractures. Think of the image of the stooped person. Definitely fracture risk right there. You're thinking that all the muscles in the back of the body, and when you watch the video, you see me doing all my hands gestures. If this is your spine, you're strengthening the back of the body while you're also supporting with the front. It is holding the spine up tall and long. And as we always say in Pilates, grow taller, have oppositional forces that you're reaching up to the ceiling while you're reaching the tailbone or the lower part of your body towards the floor, creating this oppositional forces. Just an incredible way to strengthen the body. And number 5 is mind-body awareness. Pilates does encourage a strong mind-body connection, which can help increase body awareness and promote healthier movement patterns. When exercising, focus on slow and controlled movement in whatever you choose to do. And when I think about the awareness in Pilates, and I think about the clients that I work with, whether it's virtually or in person, once they understand what it means to be aware of how certain body parts move, whether one arm circle is bigger than the other, whether they're breathing properly as they're doing the Pilates exercises, or that they're just here in the moment instead of with their mind being all over the place, that they're focusing on what their body needs right now throughout the exercise and give the body what it needs at that point, the attention and the concentration, which is also one of the Pilates principles. So there's a lot to credit Pilates to help with bone density, help with bone strengthening, helping with muscular strengthening, and it's all done in a low impact fashion. So there you have the steps to redefining your bone health in midlife. And as always, we are about taking action. So let's take actions right now. And here is your actionable step. Choose one thing that you can do today to improve your bone health. Whether you've been diagnosed with osteoporosis or not, there's never a time when you should not think about that. Maybe it's adding calcium-rich foods to your diet, going for a brisk walk, or looking into a Pilates class, or even setting up a chat with your doctor about your bone health. And I know how we usually push this further away with a doctor. It's like, it takes time. Do it. Remember, your mindset is your greatest ally. And this is what I really want you to take away from this episode, other than the things I taught you about osteoporosis and exercise. With a positive outlook and a proactive steps, there's no limit to the healthy, fit lifestyle that you can enjoy and thrive even with osteoporosis. It has a full stop, but as a comma, a pause that allows us to recalibrate. And you go back and say, okay, what is better for my health now than what I've done in the past? What are the steps the one step that I can do today to be proactive, to increase my bone density, to eat better? I would love to hear how this episode resonated with you. Please send an email to heike@heikeyates.com with the word bone in the subject line. Share your story, ask questions. I am here for you. And if you're ready to embrace a wellness transformation and need some help, then you're one call, and this is one action step away to reach out to me and book your 20-minute Spark breakthrough call by clicking the link in the show notes. Don't delay. Your journey to better health and fitness starts now. Let's do this together, and I'll see you next time on the Pursue Your Spark podcast. Ciao.